Welcome back to my channel. I've recently learned that YouTube has taken down one of my videos. So I've had to be off social media for a few days to work through this. In this video, I want to tell you about what happens when a sexual abuse survivor gets triggered. So let's get started. Thanks for being here right now because I care about what you're working through. My name is Carol, and I am a life coach from carolcares.com who helps all teens and young adults work through their mental health challenges. If you are thinking about self-harming right now, please hit the video link above at any time during this video. I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. I started this channel and my website, Carol Cares, because of the healing journey that I've been on most of my life because of my complex trauma. And this journey was to find my truth. I needed to know why I struggled so much with my mental health. And in sharing my own personal story on YouTube and my website of how I got to where I am today, my hope was that I could somehow help others with their mental health challenges. And so I'm making this video because I'm sharing something with you that is very personal. And it's something that just happened to me. And my hope is that it will help some of you. I found out that I was sexually abused 15 years ago through a bodily flashback. I had no idea what was happening to me at the time, but I came to understand that I was reliving a memory of sexual abuse as a child. Since that flashback, and with the help of 3 amazing therapists, I've been able to recover, and I continue to process so many memories of sexual abuse by different abusers. So I stand here before you today because I am a survivor. Through my extensive therapy with my trauma coach and bodywork therapists, I have healed an incredible amount of childhood complex trauma. It has been the most difficult journey of my life and the most important one. And it is only because I have come this far in my healing journey that I can stand here before you today and tell you my story. I have no choice. I can't keep silent anymore. I need to help others. And I'm going to do this by speaking my truth. As a sexual abuse survivor, deciding to go public with my truth has been a journey in itself. As I film, edit, and publish every single one of my videos myself, I continue to process memories that come forward. There is so much more that goes on behind the camera between the video cuts. To be honest, it is incredible and unbelievable how each video is born and makes its way up on YouTube and even my website. My decision to go public with my story continues to be an amazingly cathartic and healing experience. The decision to become visible and tell one's story is also an incredible feat of transformation for the survivor. It's the moment when finally the survivor is able to use their own voice to bring about change. For the survivor, visibility screams at the top of their lungs that what happened to them should never, ever have happened in the first place. And even louder, the survivor screams that this should never ever happen to another person again. So I recently received an email from YouTube that someone put in a complaint about one of my videos on anger called The Truth About My Anger. It has now been taken down by YouTube and you can no longer view it in Canada. So after reading this email, I instantly became numb, really numb. I knew that I had just been triggered, and I knew this was a big one. It hit me hard, and I felt myself slowly giving into this trigger. It was taking over me. I was making it about now. But remember what I taught you about triggers in my videos? Triggers aren't about now. Triggers are teaching moments. They happen for us, not to us. And I know this. I believe this. And I live this. And I teach you this in my videos on triggering, but it's so hard to remember that when you've just been triggered. But it felt like this pain that this email brought up was happening to me at the moment. I knew who was behind this. I knew that this same family member was trying to silence me again. He cannot and will not believe my story. And he was trying to shut me down again. This was not the first time since I went public that he's tried to keep me quiet. I wanted so badly to make this trigger about now. I wanted to control what was happening to me because I felt out of control. I wanted to scream, cry, punch something, and rage, all at the same time. This was so unfair what he was doing to me now. But this trigger wasn't about now. I knew that. So I didn't try to shut down the trigger. Instead, I opened myself up to the deep pain that wanted to come up. By shutting down this video, this family member had just triggered a childhood memory that was buried so deep inside of me. It was like he had just taken a hook and yanked it out. And I was left to deal with the pain of this memory. Alone. Again. So this was a flashback that was taking me back to the time of my childhood when my abusers tried to silence me. When they tried to make me believe that everything that I thought was a bunch of lies. And this was all coming back to me in that moment. And I knew I needed to face it because I was in a hell of a lot of pain. So as always, I took out my number one tool to process all my memories, my laptop. I began to journal furiously, and I did it for hours. I didn't sleep all night. I was in too much pain. There was a lot to process, and I knew there would be because of the deep pain that was coming up. My abusers made sure that I would not remember. I was not supposed to remember what was coming up. I was not supposed to remember that they had tried so desperately to silence me when I was young. I was not supposed to remember my years of sexual abuse. They wanted me to keep quiet about the dark secrets that my family kept. Instead, I was told I was crazy and I was making all of this up in my head. And I believed it for years. I had to in order to survive. The pain to remember would have been too much. But in taking down my video on YouTube, this family member wanted to silence me again. And he brought up the deepest wound for any sexual abuse survivor. And that is the wound of being told that you are making it all up and that you are crazy and that you need to keep silent. So what happens when a sexual abuse survivor gets triggered? Well, they sit with the trigger and they begin to feel the emotions that are coming up so that they can be expressed. And I've just spent the last few days expressing feelings of anger, fear, shame, loneliness, and grief, because these are the feelings that this trigger brought up for me. And sometimes it takes that long. And so what happens when this survivor of childhood sexual abuse gets triggered? Well, I make this video to tell the entire world what lesson I have learned because I have a voice now. And I can use it to help others who may be struggling with the same challenges. As I reminded you earlier on in this video, all of our emotional triggers are teaching moments. They happen for us, not to us. So I want to share with you the lesson that I have learned from this trigger. And here it is. I will not be silenced. I won't. I've come too far in this journey now. There is no turning back. There is no stopping me now. I will not be silenced. And so in memory of my video on the truth about your anger that has been banned in Canada, I want to say this to all sexual abuse survivors out there. I want you to get angry at your abusers and all those people who will not and cannot believe your story. You're not making this up, and you're not crazy. And underneath all that anger comes a hell of a lot of grief. But in grieving, you will find your voice once again, just like I have. And together, we will be silenced no more. Until then, if you have any further questions about sexual abuse or any challenges you may be experiencing right now, you can fill out a form on my website, carolcares.com, under the Ask Carol page. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Instagram. And please let others know about my channel so that they can get the help that they need. And as always, remember to have compassion for yourself for what you're working through. Stay safe. Bye for now.